It's going to be fun. My name is Kevin VRAMMOUT. I'm the head of exhibition at SparkOH, and we wanted to tell you about an interactive experience that we uh, founded in collaboration with Hovertone, and it's entitled Climadôme. It's about how to raise awareness differently to the climate challenges. So let me tell you a bit more about this challenge. So SparkOH is a science and society museum in Belgium near Most. And our goal is to raise awareness among young people to attract them to science and scientific careers. We are in a former mine that was refurbished by Jean Nouvel, and we wanted to take people on board and to attract them to science. And we have this goal in our exhibition, so 12,000 square meters of interactive exhibitions. Our mindset is to try to make people marvel, to go through body emotions and to discover science while having fun, while playing, while possibly being, being in awe. We have families, we have those school groups, classes, so from 3 years old up until teenage years. We also wanted people to take part in the creation of the site, and we tend to ask them a lot of questions and take them on board. So for the exhibition that I'm about to tell you about, it was the case. So the geodynamic exhibition was launched in July 2021, and our visitors took part. It was an interactive process, and we asked them what they wanted to know about the life of planet Earth. And they asked us many questions. Are there earthquakes in Belgium? How is wind created? So we created this exhibition based on all the questions they had. So as you can see, the atmospheres that have a spatial the space area. So it's in order to understand how Earth works, how it regulates itself, to then understand how it deregulates itself. So Climadôme, people are going to discover different areas. How is snow created? How is wind created? How do storms appear? So they do all of this. We go through all of this before reaching the Climadôme. And the Climadôme is an interactive exhibition that we're just about to present to you. And there are 7 challenges around these experiences that talk about climate and climate change. It's a very complex topic for visitors. We talk about external geodynamics that work on physical and chemical parameters that create a snowball effect. It's more or less we're quick, micro, and macro. So we want to create an experience that is both easy to understand, intuitive, simple, accessible, and that provides keys to understand how humans influence a climate change. The Anthropocene is also something that was part of the challenge. We wanted your skeptics to understand, of course, because it's very simple and accessible. It's something that is stressful, especially for young generations that are activists, for many of them. And we didn't want to be scaremongers. We didn't want to show any apocalypse. We wanted to make this experience immersive and captivating. We wanted it to be a space where we want to stay. We want to observe the detail of the change, but also impactful without creating guilt or fear. We wanted the public to understand what is going on. It's a topic that we hear a lot about in the news and media and exhibitions. We wanted to create something that involves visitors physically, and that is at the crossroads of the topic, understanding how human activity disrupts the climate and has a long-term impact on the climate and the experience. So, something quick. And we wanted to involve bodies and emotions. And this is where our collaboration with Hovertone starts. Thank you, Caroline. My name is Julien BERTIEUX. I am an engineer
Felicitations.
for multimedia at Hovertone. We want to create immersive and interactive media, but our priority has always been to make people marvel. So when a visitor shows up at an Hovertone exhibition, we want to tell them a story.
Wow.
So when visitors show up, they need to feel emotions, because through these emotions, we can do something different and we can create experiences that people will remember.
Pour répondre aux enjeux que Caroline a
Meet the challenges that Caroline mentioned. We are in a co-creation approach. We want to spark emotions and create amazement, attracting attention, because when we stir curiosity, we create attention within a group and between groups. So this is something that we love to do, which is to create
ensemble entre des scolaires qui se connaissent.
invitation between different classes, between different families that didn't show up together. We want to create this type of experience. This needs to go through
De sauter, without this.
bring schemes that allow to jump, to run, to sing, to dance, and it's the type of things that we like to do with SparkOH. I think we have 7 exhibitions under our belt with them, and we're always free to create innovations, to create new experiences. And innovation goes through technology, and at Hovertones, we love technology, but it's never a priority. It conveys a message. It allows us to do things differently in an innovative manner, in a quite an atypical manner, but it's never a priority. It's not an end in itself.
Sure. Et donc, c'est tous ces axes de réflexion.
So this is the mindset that we had when we implemented the Climadôme project. So what is it? It's a 360 projection
What's the projet?
in which we are immersed. And in this projection,
On va trouver un pseudo-planète,
we find another planet.
océan de particules.
It's an ocean of particles that like continents or seas, glaciers, and the visitor will have a live impact on the sea of particles. Depending on the number of visitors, their behavior. Are there many of them?
Yeah.
Do they move about quickly?
Yes, the other thing is
Events will take place.
just par exemple,
Quarantine from extreme weather events.
il peut y avoir un réchauffement des calottes glaciaires, on pourrait avoir
We can have a warming of glaciers, tornadoes,
Bertif et
but in the first tone, and we never lecture our visitors. Visitors draw their own conclusions.
sur les guides placés pour parler de force. Nos jeunes visiteurs,
Our young visitors are in the best position to tell you about this exhibition. Unfortunately, it's not the right PowerPoint, so I'll summarize what they say about our exhibition.
on a eu l'occasion de passer aux Rolandes.
We were at National Belgian TV, fortunately, and our visitors, as they left the interactive experience, they told us
Pas passer avec un cartel. Il y a des choses
there are things that cannot be said with the mechanical
dire les
experience. The real message of the Climadôme is when we come up with our own conclusions, it's a lot stronger. The message is a lot stronger. We're in a world where
adopter des médias.
we're starting to doubt the media and information, the conventional information sources.
C'est une manière détournée. Ouais,
So this is a way to make people think
c'est
and to convey complex ideas. Thank you for your attention, Caroline VRAMMOUT and Julien BERTIEAUX. As for me, I'll be at the G21 stall. Do not hesitate to pay us a visit. We have many other projects to tell you about. Thank you very much. So I don't know if there are questions in the room. Otherwise, I'll ask my own questions. First of all, can you tell us about the idea of this immersive room? How long did it take you to design it? And second question,
les autres éléments de l'exposition.
how did you integrate it with all of the other elements in the institution? I'm not sure my microphone still works. It still works. Okay. So the design of exhibitions takes between a year and a year and a half. This was during the COVID pandemic, which did not make it easy. It was supposed to be launched in July 2020, and it was launched in July 2021 because of COVID. But once it was underway, it was on track. So we tried to look at all of the things that people experience in the pathway to show that in the Climadôme. So we talk about the part played by rain, and we integrated them in that space. We talk about the acidification of oceans and seas. These are things that we try to create links between micro and macro. And as Julien was saying, if one person shows up in the area herself alone, so we'll have a tiny impact on the planet, a very local one. And we play on this scale effect. When a whole group shows up, they will have a more global impact, the quicker impact as well. This means that the higher the intensity of activities in that space, the more things will happen. So we worked on that and a farm, which makes it possible to draw your own conclusions at the end. I don't have a lot of activity in that space. I'm alone. It's at the end of the world. What's going on in that virtual planet? But when there are many of us, when we're a lot more intense, when we move about more, they help. I hate was something to special about car. When there's a lot of activity in that small space, then the impact will be all the more intense as well. So how long did it take you to design it? We started at the end of 2020 to reach July 2021. As for the design, this is more for Julien. Did you have approval with the protection of the environment in mind as well? How did you manage to be environmentally friendly in the design and the use of these technologies? Indeed, it's important to bear this in mind when conceiving this exhibition. All the more because the very topic of that exhibition is the environment. So we used our usual method, which is to use material which is as environmentally friendly as possible. So this means choosing wood and choosing a paint that is eco-friendly. Other questions? Sorry. Sorry. I'll let you ask your question and then I'll ask mine. Which would is the rest in the word? There was something to go on to the in museum. This is a science museum, so but I was other types of technology, but in the modern art museum where there's no infrastructure for this type of immersive experience, how does it work? Do you provide screens? Do you have partners? How can this be implemented? And I know if you already have projects with museums that are not the same type of museums at all. Yes, absolutely. We often say that we start with an idea and then we go all the way until the last screw is screwed. And we work with the Museum of Fine Arts of Brussels. For instance, we had a amazing Van Eyck scheme. The idea was to show that Van Eyck was really interested in details, since an immersive space where we are immersed in the details of value, such as
dans nos détails,
twinkles in the eyes, for instance. And when we immerse ourselves in these details, we are in a different work environment. We adapted the interactivity. It's the position in the room that allows to choose the element that we want to look at.
Passage, comme un tel.
Order for wise or type of interaction. We look to work with science centers because in the Hovertone team we have many engineers. So we speak the same language when we're talking about science, but yes, we work with modern art museums as well. We get first of all build a question that is related to that.
Je sais pas si cette exposition
I don't know if this exhibition is going to other museums, and if so, how was we? Unfortunately, we keep our own exhibitions. We don't have to work survey but there's special fears governmental and these are fine called half permanent exhibitions, so they stay for 5 years at the least. Definitely that it was museum these the exhibitions are medieval and put under strain essentially by children, so it's a minimum to say 5 years or more if be an advantage. But this exhibition was great success for the public and has had very positive feedback from publics who were very happy. Well,
wanted to G is it
just had to wait. You just said we have rigs that are very active, so we need to think of
an example
these exhibitions in a very, we need to be very sturdy and robust. I didn't mention this for others. I just had two questions. With the first following on email to survive permanent exhibition, are you going to update it? If there are content changes, if you were to add something, and if so, how? Is glitched. And is there sound? And if so, why is there? Why isn't there? And on which type of sound did you choose? So I'll start, and then I'll let Julien finish. So regarding the first question and for the updates, yes, in the Science Museum we have exhibitions about robotics, our exhibitions on genetics, on the human body. So long ago we discovered a new organ in the human body when we knew everything. So we delivered this policy of basic hour that it was the worst year of something here, and we also changed the content and the shape of our exhibitions. We do that regularly for all of our exhibitions just to make them a little bit more interactive and up to date, and to be able to give them a longer life cycle. Given there's sours, it's only immersive. It means that there are no common. We do not belong to here. There to be teaching of any kind, and as we was saying, we want to bring them into vast immersion and to the idea of learning from what
this
about it. So to get back to the updates, at Overtones, we probably
the book plays a soul
a green service, so you can give us a call and say we want to change part of the scheme, not the entire thing. But if it's a request from the start, that is not a problem at all. We can change text or this type of things. That's true, but if they're not short. Maybe one last question. Do you have feedback from users? There's a video we wanted to show you.
Oui, c'était la vidéo, mais voilà, donne-moi l'expérience face à ça.
So my personal experience, because before working at Hovertone, I worked at SparkOH.
Alright. Yeah, c'est bon.
We have a strong bond between our structures. I was a scientific moderator, and I received this feedback on a daily basis. The families that didn't have any expectations in that were moved through. And that because the children came up to their own conclusions and parents were confirming this. And I liked that. It's not necessarily parents that provide the information to the child. And we know that children are our first ambassadors. They come with their class and then they take their parents to see us.
All right, all that's it.
Thank you very much. So Hovertones, we can find you at the G21 stall.
For the do innovation.
For innovation and attendance, it's over until 4 or 4:30, I think. And if you were to continue, there will be 3 more attendance at the end of the day, and then we will start again tomorrow.
Yes.
There are many other events planned here on this stage, but I will give the floor to other moderators. Thank you. See you later.